The massive alien craft cast a long shadow across the rocky, rust-colored terrain of Kepler 452 bits. Wang Jae-sung, a seasoned United States Space Force reconnaissance specialist, stood perfectly still, his tactical suit blending seamlessly with the alien landscape's muted tones. His fingers, calloused from years of military training, gently traced the contours of his advanced communication device. Lieutenant Kim Yong-hee stood 2 meters to his right, her cybernetic tactical overlay projecting a holographic grid that mapped every microscopic movement in their surrounding environment. Unlike traditional human military gear, her equipment represented the pinnacle of human technological integration, a living, breathing interface that responded to her slightest neural command. The alien diplomatic vessel, a sleek biomechanical structure that seemed to pulse with an inner luminescence, hovered approximately 500 meters from their position. Its occupants, members of the Galactic Cooperative Delegation, watched the human team with an increasingly uncomfortable mix of curiosity and growing unease. Jae-sung knew they were being studied. Humans were still a relatively new entrant in the galactic community, and every movement, every gesture was being analyzed, dissected, and interpreted through alien perspectives that could not yet fully comprehend human complexity. His earpiece crackled softly. "Perimeter secure," Yong-hee muttered, her voice low and controlled. Her augmented eyes, partially replaced with advanced optical sensors, scanned the horizon with superhuman precision. The alien's vessel began to emit a soft, almost musical humming, a communication method that would have been incomprehensible to human ears just a decade ago. But technological advancements had rapidly transformed human capability. Translation algorithms now processed these complex sonic communications in real time. A holographic projection emerged from the alien craft, depicting what seemed to be a diplomatic greeting. Intricate geometric patterns shifted and transformed, representing their attempt at establishing peaceful communication. Jae-sung observed silently, his military training preventing any immediate reactive response. Yong-hee's tactical overlay suddenly flashed a series of warning indicators. Microscopic seismic disturbances were detected beneath the rocky terrain. Something was moving underground. Her neural link instantly transmitted the data to Jae-sung's system. "Movement detected," she whispered, her hand unconsciously moving closer to her plasma rifle. The alien delegation seemed oblivious to the potential threat. Their communication continued, the holographic patterns becoming more elaborate, more intricate. They believed themselves to be in complete control of the interaction. Jae-sung knew better. Humans had learned through centuries of conflict that true safety meant constant vigilance. Every peaceful moment could transform into a potential threat in milliseconds. His military history files, accessible through his neural interface, referenced countless historical encounters where initial diplomatic interactions had rapidly devolved into complex confrontations. The human species had survived by being perpetually prepared, by never assuming safety was guaranteed. The underground movement grew more pronounced. Seismic readings suggested something large was approaching their position. Yong-hee's tactical systems began calculating potential threat scenarios, running millions of computational simulations per second. "Recommend defensive posture," she stated, her voice calm and clinical. Jae-sung nodded almost imperceptibly. Years of joint training meant they could communicate volumes through the subtlest of gestures. Their bond, forged through rigorous military preparation, transcended verbal communication. The alien diplomatic team continued their elaborate holographic display, seemingly unaware of the growing tension. Their communication suggested a naive belief in universal peace, in the inherent goodwill of intelligent species. Humans had learned differently. Every interaction was a potential conflict. Every moment of calm could be the prelude to confrontation. As the underground movement grew closer, Jae-sung and Yong-hee remained motionless. Their training had transformed them into living sensors, able to process and react to environmental changes faster than most biological systems could comprehend. The first tremor broke the alien vessel's communication pattern. Something was coming. Something was about to change everything. The ground split open with a thunderous crack, revealing a nightmarish landscape of writhing, metallic alien forms. Their exoskeletons gleamed like polished obsidian, razor-sharp appendages cutting through the rocky terrain with terrifying speed. Lee Sung-min's fingers danced across his tactical control panel. In an instant, a swarm of microdrones burst from a compact container on his tactical vest. Each drone, no larger than a human palm, transformed the battlefield into a chaotic storm of electronic warfare. The microdrones weren't just machines. They were sophisticated hunter-killers, programmed with adaptive neural algorithms that could predict and disrupt alien movement patterns. They swarmed like intelligent insects, jamming communication signals, creating visual distortions, and breaking the alien pack's coordinated attack. Park Ji-woo stood remarkably calm, her advanced plasma rifle humming with deadly potential. The weapon wasn't just a tool, it was an extension of her military training, a precision instrument designed to neutralize threats with surgical accuracy. Her first shot cut through the alien formation like a hot knife through water. The plasma bolt, a concentrated energy stream traveling at near-light speeds, punched through the lead alien's exoskeleton, creating a momentary burst of superheated plasma that disintegrated everything in its path. The alien pack froze. Their collective consciousness, connected through complex neural networks, suddenly experienced something they had never anticipated: total tactical defeat. Jae-sung's team moved with a synchronization that defied traditional combat logic. Each member knew their role, anticipated potential threats, and responded faster than traditional biological reflexes could manage. Their augmented bodies, enhanced through years of military training and technological integration, transformed them from human soldiers into living weapons. Lee Sung-min's drone swarm continued its electronic assault. Some drones attached themselves to alien communication nodes, creating cascading system failures. Others deployed microscopic electromagnetic pulse generators that systematically disabled the aliens' technological advantages. Park Ji-woo fired again. Another plasma bolt. Another alien disintegrated. The alien pack's initial confidence collapsed. What they had perceived as a simple diplomatic encounter had transformed into a nightmare of technological superiority and strategic brilliance. Humans weren't just another spacefaring species. They were predators, technological apex hunters who had transformed warfare into a complex, adaptive art form. Yang He's tactical overlay continued tracking multiple potential threat vectors. Her augmented vision processed information at speeds that would overwhelm traditional biological systems. Every movement, every potential alien strategy was calculated, predicted, and neutralized before it could fully develop. The battlefield became a canvas of human military precision. Drones swarmed. Plasma bolts pierced alien defenses. Electronic warfare systems created zones of total technological disruption. In less than 3 minutes, the entire alien pack was neutralized. The alien diplomatic vessel watched in total, absolute horror. Their understanding of conflict, of warfare, had been completely shattered. Humans weren't just another species to be categorized or understood. They were something else entirely. A predatory intelligence that could transform from seemingly peaceful observers to total tactical dominance in mere moments. Jae-sung lowered his weapon. No unnecessary movements. No dramatic gestures. Just pure, calculated efficiency. Around him, his team began systematic site containment. Drones collected tactical data. Specialized containment units prepared to analyze alien technological remnants. Every action was precise. Every movement calculated. The alien diplomatic team's communication systems went silent. What could they possibly transmit? How could they explain what they had just witnessed? Humans had arrived on the galactic stage, and they had made their introduction with absolute, terrifying clarity. They were not just another species. They were apex predators. Kira's three-fingered hands trembled as she processed the data streams from the human encounter. The holographic displays around her research station flickered with complex information that seemed to defy traditional understanding of technological development. American military technology was not just advanced, it was revolutionary. The adaptive nano-armor samples they had recovered revealed microscopic structures that could instantly reshape themselves in response to environmental threats. Where traditional armor was static, these human technologies were alive, literally transforming at molecular levels to provide optimal protection. One particular data segment caught Kira's attention. The nano-armor could detect potential damage trajectories milliseconds before an actual attack, redistributing molecular density to minimize potential impact. It wasn't just protection, it was predictive survival. Predictive combat algorithms represented another shocking revelation. Human military systems didn't just react. They anticipated. Complex machine learning models integrated historical battle data, real-time environmental information, and potential threat scenarios to generate combat strategies that seemed almost prescient. During the initial encounter, human soldiers had moved with a coordination that suggested something beyond traditional training. Their tactical responses weren't programmed. They were dynamically generated, adapting faster than any known technological system. Psychological warfare techniques proved even more disturbing. The humans had not just defeated the alien pack. They had systematically dismantled their operational capabilities by understanding and exploiting psychological vulnerabilities. Their micro-drone systems didn't just disrupt communication. They created deliberate confusion patterns that targeted specific neurological response mechanisms in the alien neural networks. It was warfare conducted at a cognitive level, targeting perception itself. The research team discovered something even more unsettling. These technologies weren't developed through linear progression. Human military innovation seemed to follow a chaotic, adaptive model that traditional research methodologies couldn't comprehend. American military research centers appeared to encourage radical, unconventional thinking. Where other civilizations followed strict developmental protocols, humans embraced controlled chaos. Innovation wasn't a process. It was a cultural mindset. Kira's preliminary report became a classified document that sent shockwaves through the Galactic Cooperative Delegation. Humans were not just technologically advanced. They represented an entirely different approach to technological development. Their military technology suggested something profound. Humans viewed technology not as a tool, but as a living, adaptive ecosystem. Each technological development was interconnected, dynamically responding to emerging challenges. The nano-armor samples continued to fascinate researchers. Under microscopic analysis, the material seemed to breathe, shifting, adapting, responding to potential threats with an almost organic intelligence. Predictive combat algorithms revealed another layer of complexity. They didn't just process information. They learned. Each encounter, each interaction became a new data set that refined future strategic responses. The psychological warfare techniques were perhaps the most terrifying revelation. Humans had transformed information itself into a weapon, understanding that true conflict occurred not just on physical battlefields, but within cognitive landscapes. As Kira compiled her final report, one conclusion became devastatingly clear. Humans, particularly Americans, represented a technological paradigm that completely challenged existing understanding of military development. They were not just another spacefaring civilization. They were technological apex predators, capable of reimagining warfare itself. The Galactic Cooperative Delegation would never be the same. The massive circular chamber of the Galactic Confederation Council fell into a silence so deep that even the ambient atmospheric regulators seemed to pause. Senior Counselor Vrltok, representing the oldest member species of the Galactic Alliance, activated the holographic display. The recorded evidence of human capabilities played out like a horrifying documentary of technological supremacy. "We are facing a species that does not understand conventional limitations," Vrltok's translator device converted his complex linguistic patterns into stark, simple language. The holographic recording showed human military units adapting to alien terrain faster than any known species. Their technological systems weren't just responsive. They were predictive. Where other civilizations planned, Humans transformed entire strategic landscapes in milliseconds. The most disturbing revelation came from psychological profile analyses. Humans, particularly Americans, possessed a unique cognitive flexibility that defied traditional understanding. They could simultaneously plan, adapt, and deconstruct complex strategic scenarios with an efficiency that bordered on computational thinking. One council member, a crystalline being from the Tenral system, projected her own analysis. Her translucent form flickered as she highlighted specific human technological innovations. They view technology not as a tool, she stated, but as a living ecosystem of continuous adaptation. The microdrone technologies demonstrated during the initial encounter represented more than just advanced weaponry. They showcased a fundamental understanding of complex systems that most galactic civilizations had not yet comprehended. Adaptive nano-armor, predictive combat algorithms, psychological warfare techniques that could dismantle entire communication networks within moments. These were not just technological achievements, they were evolutionary statements. Humans had transformed warfare from a physical confrontation into a multidimensional cognitive experience. The council members reviewed data streams showing human military research centers. Unlike traditional technological development processes, these facilities seemed to encourage radical, unconventional thinking. Innovation was not a structured process, but a cultural philosophy. They are not conquerors, one diplomatic analyst noted. They are evolutionary disruptors. The implications were terrifying. Humans did not seek territorial expansion through traditional means. They transformed entire strategic landscapes through technological and cognitive superiority. Their approach to conflict resolution suggested something even more profound: an ability to understand and deconstruct complex systems at molecular and psychological levels. The emergency session lasted 17 standard galactic hours. Each moment revealed another layer of human complexity that challenged existing understanding of technological development and strategic thinking. By the session's conclusion, one truth became devastatingly clear. Humans were not just another spacefaring civilization. They were apex predators of technological innovation, capable of reimagining fundamental concepts of conflict, adaptation, and survival. The Galactic Confederation would never perceive technological development the same way again. Humanity had arrived, and they had brought an entirely new understanding of what it meant to be an advanced civilization. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this section? The Grand Diplomatic Chamber of the Galactic Confederation resonated with an unprecedented tension. Representatives from hundreds of alien civilizations sat in a circular arrangement, their collected focus fixed on a single holographic projection showing human delegates. Ambassador Michael Rodriguez stood alone, representing humanity. No elaborate ceremonial dress, no complex technological accessories, just a simple United States diplomatic uniform and an unwavering gaze that seemed to challenge the entire galactic community. Senior Counselor Vroltok, representing the oldest member species, initiated the formal proceedings. His translation systems converted complex linguistic patterns into clear, direct statements. Humanity has demonstrated capabilities that challenge our fundamental understanding of technological evolution, he announced. The chamber remained absolutely silent. The diplomatic resolution being discussed was more than a formal agreement. It represented a fundamental shift in galactic power dynamics. Humans would no longer be viewed as a junior, emerging species. They were now recognized as a strategic partner with the potential to reshape entire technological and political landscapes. The holographic displays surrounding the chamber continuously projected data streams demonstrating human technological achievements, adaptive nano-armor technologies, predictive combat algorithms, psychological warfare techniques that could dismantle complex communication networks within moments. Each alien representative understood the profound implications. Humanity was not seeking traditional territorial expansion. They were transforming strategic landscapes through intellectual and technological superiority. Rodriguez remained perfectly still. No unnecessary movements. No dramatic gestures. His very presence communicated a calculated confidence that spoke volumes about human psychological approach to diplomacy. The resolution's key points were revolutionary. Formal recognition of human technological capabilities. Strategic partnership in galactic defense and exploration. Unrestricted access to collaborative research initiatives. Mutual technological exchange programs. Each point represented a radical departure from previous diplomatic protocols. Humans were not just being invited to the galactic table. They were being acknowledged as potential leaders of technological innovation. Alien researchers had discovered something profound about human development. Their technological progress wasn't linear. It was adaptive, chaotic, driven by a cultural philosophy that embraced radical innovation. As the final diplomatic statements were recorded, the chamber understood a fundamental truth. The galaxy had changed. Humanity had arrived. Rodriguez's final statement was simple and direct. We come not as conquerors, but as partners in understanding. The resolution passed unanimously. Humanity's first major diplomatic victory represented more than a political agreement. It was a statement of evolutionary potential. The galaxy would never be the same. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this diplomatic resolution?